What's going on, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. See, got a few of y'all already in the building. Glad to see y'all, man. Um, this Saturday night, about 8:30 on the West Coast, so that's still pretty decent. About 11:30 on the East Coast, pretty decent for a Saturday night. Of course, it's about 10:30 on my time, Central Time, and I think what's the other one? Mountain Time. I think it's about 9:30. So I feel like we getting in at a reasonable hour for everybody, because most people are off tomorrow. Most people don't have to go to work. That's why I try to do my lives on the weekends. Because if I get to running my mouth, I know y'all got to get up and be places. So I don't want to disrespect y'all like that. But open topic tonight, which means, for all the regulars, I don't have to explain what it means, but it just basically just what it says. Whatever questions y'all have, whatever might be on your mind to ask or speak on, I'll answer the questions. If I know the answer, if I don't, then I'll just say I don't know. Or if y'all have a topic, I might elaborate on it with y'all. But regardless of what we do, man, let's start off by clicking that thumbs up. And before we get going, man, I appreciate y'all's presence. I always love to see my family, my community, all the familiar names that I've grown accustomed to seeing. So we in here. Um, I want to do something that I didn't do last night, that I had every intention of doing last night, but I didn't do it. I'm gonna make sure I do it tonight off the rip, and that's to send condolences and pay homage to the late great Jim Brown, the great Jim Brown who passed away Friday. And if you don't know who Jim Brown is, I don't know where you've been all your life, but Jim Brown, as a former NFL football star, football great, Hall of Famer, but he turned into more than that after he retired from football. Because anybody who knows anything about Jim Brown, they know that at the time he retired, he was an all-time leading rusher when he retired, and he only played 8 years in the league. He didn't play 15, 16 years, 12, 13 years. He only played 8 years, retired, and never came back. He went into acting, did a few movies, but his biggest contribution, and what I think a lot of the current generation may know him for now, more so than him being a football player, they know him for his activism. They know for him for all of his work in the black community. They know him for his work in meeting with gang members and the civil rights movement and the struggles that we've had as a people that he's never been afraid to be on the forefront of. He was one of the people who was sitting at the table during that great summit meeting that took place back in the 60s when Muhammad Ali was going through his crisis with the United States government. And you see this famous picture of Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, and the fourth man that was sitting at that table was Jim Brown. And we're talking about in the 60s, where of course that's the height of the civil rights movement. That's the one of the milestone points in history where racism in America was never afraid to openly show its face, to openly demonstrate. And it did not matter if you were a famous athlete, it did not matter if you were a famous singer or actor, you were still viewed by the racist people in this society the same way as they viewed what would be considered to be the least of us. So you talk about cancel culture now. We talk about how affiliating yourself with the wrong people now can get you canceled by members of the elite society, people who run this world. Um, Picture that in 1960. This was without social media. You know, this was when there was still very few black athletes in sports, period, not like it is now. You look at the NBA now, the NBA is 85 or more percent black. Back then, there's two or three brothers on each team. NFL, few brothers on each team. And the same mindset that was taken on then is carried on, that's taken now was carried on then, in that they always had this thought when it came to black people is that you should just be glad that we allow you to be a part of our organization. You should just be grateful. When in fact, people like Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, even prior to that, people like Jackie Robinson, they were always the biggest stars in the game. Because when we come in the building, we take over. So Jim Brown is more known now for his activism all the way up into his 80s. He was still on the front line. So we definitely want to salute to him. We want to salute to Harry Belafonte, who we lost a few weeks before this, and all of the greats that have been transitioning. And now these new generations of people are present and being born that are expected to grab that mantle and carry that torch and take it to the next level, because our elders are weeding themselves out, or they're starting to fade away. Our elders are starting to fade away. And that's always, in my eyes, a sign. You know, it's a transition, it's a change. What are we gonna do? Are we just gonna say, well, hey man, you know, the elders are gone and that's just how it is? Or are we gonna study their works and, like I said, grab that baton and take off running and move it forward while incorporating the modern day aspects that can take us to the next level? So shout out Jim Brown and his family and all those we've lost that fought that fight for us and never compromise. That's the key. Never compromise. You know, a lot of people start off ready to fight that fight, but once they get called into that room, once they get once that bag get threatened, once their life get threatened, they pull out. You know, they back up. Or once more money is offered to pacify them, then they pull out, they fade away. And now we lose another soldier because he wasn't strong enough, or she wasn't strong enough to fight the temptation of what the devil offers you when he takes you to the mountaintop. And he offers you that as a trade-off to fighting for your people. How many are strong enough to not make that deal? Open topic, y'all. Let's get right into it. There you go, Shaboot TV. That's right, man. Y'all should really parse a lot of the live streams I do when I'm covering a topic, man, because, you know, Shaboot TV is right. There'll be a lot of gems up in there. And a lot of it I don't take credit for, because all wisdom comes from the Creator. And he distributes that wisdom through others who become wise men and women. And when the words of those wise men and women hit our ears, if we are wise, we process that wisdom and then we regurgitate that wisdom back out. So never think that anything that you hear your big brother say, don't ever think that it's of me. And don't ever think that I'm running around here with a swole head acting like I'm so wise or it's coming from me, because anything that I say, I can definitely source it. I can definitely trace it back to um, probably 90% of the time the original mouth that I heard it from. And while you may not be able to just every time you say something reference the person you heard it from to give them their proper credit, at times you do, and at times we should as much as possible, because it's egotistical to act like you were just born with wisdom. We born with our minds are just a blank chalkboard, a clean slate that information is added onto over time. You're not born knowing all this unless you were just anointed and ordained. But even the greats, even prophets had to be taught. So let's get it in, man. Let's get it in. Justin said, can the Lakers come back? They can come back next year and try again. They might get a game, Justin. But this is the one that they had to get. They had to get this one because it ain't no coming back from 3-0, bro. That 3-0 comeback stuff, I always have had the thought in my mind that it's going to happen one day. It just feels like one day it's going to happen. Too many series have been played in the however many years basketball been around. You just feel like one day somebody's going to come back from 3-0. They did it in baseball, and it had never happened. But it's not going to be this year. And if it is, I would be shocked. So the thing with the Lakers, you hope they get a game. You don't want them to get swept. But it is what it is. Sarah says, Salam, I have to work tonight and do graveyard, so I might not stay all night. It's 8:34 p.m. in Northern California. I mean, every time what the homie Devin and Dude say, he say anything is plenty, man. As long as you can stay, you can stay. I see Jimmy, I see DJ Bud Light, I see Potty Golden up in this thing. What's up, sis? Bryson is asking, what's your current favorite song right now? It's hard to say because I don't listen to new stuff. But new songs, a new song that I like. Can't think of nothing, man. Probably something on the new SPC album that's getting ready to drop. Be out real soon. Astro Hippie, I see you. DT, I see you. Come on, AP the Great. You say LeBron choked 3 nights in a row. God, no, man. LeBron is almost 40, man. Y'all be looking for every little thing to hate on LeBron. I don't say hate on, but just throw. Some people do be hating on, but I'm like, LeBron is one of the greatest players ever, man. Is he my favorite player of all time? No. Am I one of those people who put him above Michael Jordan or others? No. But we can't dismiss the greatness of LeBron James. We can't act like this man is just garbage. We just can't do that, man. So, yeah, I don't think he's choking. I mean, LeBron is playing in his 20th year in the league at 38 years old and still playing on a high level. The fact that a conversation about him even choking would come up lets you know how good he still is, because you got so many guys who are in their 16th year, 18th year, have played up to their 20th year, and they are no longer even close to being the kind of players that they used to be. They just ride the bench or barely getting along, playing a few minutes a game, average way down. This man still was averaging 26, 27 points a game this year at 20 years in the league, 38 years old. So, I mean, come on, man. and you got to have other players. See, now think about the game tonight, AP. I'm gonna give you some insight. Like I just told you, LeBron 38 in his 20th year, and people still expecting him to be top level LeBron, right? Meanwhile, and you said, and other people are gonna say he choked and he had a bad game with him. But meanwhile, they got two starters that played tonight that are in their 20s, prime starter, D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt. One of them had 3 points, the other one had 2 points. So who really choked tonight? Because if you in the playoffs, we down 2-0, we coming back home, and two of our starters that are young dudes in their 20s who should have plenty of energy, who you expect to perform on a high level, they give you 5 points combined. That's where you lose the game. Because they only pulled away from the Lakers at the end. They lost that game behind guys not showing up, guys not stepping up who you depend on. There's no way that two of my starters can just give me 5 points combined. That's not on LeBron. That's not on AD. They got to look at themselves in the mirror and go, man, I'm laying an egg, bro. I could never, my mind would be fixed. Like, I got to get 15 points at the least. So it just, they're gonna always find a way to blame it on LeBron. It more goes into it than that. Walaikum salam, brother Chris. My brother, my family. Got James Burton in here from OKC too. DJ Bud Light says, I'm gonna ask Kay, can you give any insight into the rare track Ghetto Billy Wear It Out? Yeah, the Ghetto Billy thing was I can't remember how long ago it was, but it was some years back. That 06, 07, somewhere, but I can't remember when it was. Anyway, whenever it was, somebody, I used to do voiceovers for this company, right? Where I would do like commercials, like when somebody was dropping a new rap album for what's that label? That distribution company. One of those distribution companies, when their artists would drop a new album, they would call me in. This local company would call me in to do the voiceover. Like, the voiceover is like when you hit a radio commercial, it's like, in stores now, the new album by blah, 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 with the hit single, da, 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 da. I was doing voiceovers at the time, right? So one of the guys who I worked with doing the voiceover, he knew somebody who was trying to promote a clothing line that they were getting ready to release. And the name of the clothing line was called Ghetto Billy. I don't know whatever happened to it, but that at the time, that's what they were pushing. And they wanted somebody to make like a theme song to the Ghetto Billy clothing line. So the guy was like, hey, man, you'd be perfect for us. So they asked me to do it. I linked up with the people. We did the commercial. And that's how they got out. I don't remember how the song got out because I have seen a couple of little YouTube where the song was actually on YouTube. I don't know who put it out. I can't remember, but yeah, but that's how that happened. I just did a commercial for the clothing line. But Dash Philosophy. Oh yeah, give them some game. It said to like the video on phone during lives, you gotta swipe down on the chat because the like button is hidden behind it. Yeah, man, there you go. Give up the game, man. Jesse Paris, man. Denver, y'all looking good, Jesse. I'm picking y'all to win it this year. I think the only team that could match up with the Denver Nuggets is the Boston Celtics, and they in trouble. They down 0-2, getting ready to go on the road. So I think if Miami goes to the championship, I think it's going to be hard for Miami to beat Denver just because Denver just has more pieces. And as great as Jimmy Butler is, And as great as they're playing as a team, as well coached as they are, it's going to be hard for them to match up. But Spoelstra's a good coach, so you never know. But I really don't see no reason now why the Nuggets shouldn't win the championship this year. DJ Crystal Clear, K-Rino, do you prefer no limit or cash money? Damn, that's a good question. I got so much love and respect for both of them, right? Because they just self-made, man. The self-made company, self-made brands, and two moguls that just got it from the mud, right? Um, I'm probably a bigger fan musically of Cash Money, just musically, even though I like a lot of No Limits music as well. They had a lot of hit songs, a lot of good songs that I like, and I like the way that Master P um, formulated and ran his label. I like the way he built his roster of artists and just kept it going. I love the way he promoted and marketed. So you got two really, really important companies from the southern region, both from Louisiana. Um, but it's right there, man. It's right there. That's a good question. If they ever did a no limit versus Cash Money like versus, I'd have to watch that one. I'd have to watch that one. What's up, nephew? I see you, Jovan, up in here. Yeah, R.I.P. to Jim Brown, man. Lance Walton says lacrosse legend too. Only black dude I know that play. Jim Brown played lacrosse. I didn't know that. Is that true? Or are you joking? What's up, Lucas? My other question was, is the homie Big Raph going to be on the new SPC album? No, we didn't get Big Raph on the new album, but I feel like I can bring him out of retirement at any time. You know, Big Raph, he's running the business. Um, he's an FOI in the Nation of Islam, strong soldier, man. But he runs his business, you know. But you never lose them rap skills. So if I wanted to pull him out, I know I could pull him out if I wanted to. Black Maurice 713, I see you, man. Bryson says, imagine having the power of the internet in the 60s. There are some people that say that they had that technology. I don't know if it was in the 60s, but I can't remember how recent. But there are greater technologies that exist than internet. See, we operate on technology that blows our mind because we're not aware of the greater technology that we're not exposed to every day. So we see these different things and wow, that's amazing. And it is, it's cool because we've come a long way, but there's a lot of things that are far more advanced than what we believe is the top of the line. Man, where'd I go? Did I get lost? Man, I'm way down here. Hold on, man. Okay, here we go. Yeah, man, open topic. So whatever you got on your mind, feel free to drop it, and I'll elaborate or answer the question. I want y'all to click that thumbs up though if you're just coming in. How many of y'all watched the new episode of my podcast, the Underground Dialogue podcast? How many of you have not watched it? I'll say have not. We did a whole episode on artificial intelligence that just dropped last night. So I would love for y'all to go watch it. Mm-hmm. Have you given any thought to an open topic based album concept? Um, People have suggested that to me before. They've said, "Hey man, why don't you do a whole album and let your fan base pick out the topics?" You know, I don't know if I could do that with a whole album because I'll be having too much other stuff on my own mind that I would want to talk about. Yeah, LeBron came back from 3-1, but that 3-0, that's a different animal, man. Hard to beat a team 4 times in a row. Hard to beat a team 4 times in a row. All right. Let me try to catch up, y'all. What's up, Angie Wise? Long time no see, sis. Doyle Pritchard says, what do you think it would take to change people's perception of modern day hip hop? Ah, well, that question is kind of difficult because you said to change people's perception. Each person has a different perception of modern day hip hop. If you ask a 17-year-old about hip hop currently, they may have no problem with it because they listen to the songs they like. They listen to the style of hip hop that's popularized now, that's on the radio now, that everybody's doing now. And they feel, like I said a while back, this might be for them, this might be their golden era. Like for us, the 80s and the 90s, that was our golden era. That's the era we felt like the best hip hop came out. Like nothing can ever change my mind. Nobody can ever make me feel like there'll ever be a better era of hip hop than the 80s and the 90s. It'll never change for me. So that's my perception. But there are people who, depending on when you were born, depending on what music hit your ears, depending on what was going on in your life at that time and what kind of impact that music had on you, they'll say the same thing about that era. Man, from 2005 to 2015, it ain't never been nothing but, depending on who they was rocking with. So people's perceptions, we would have to know who the people were. We would have to know age demographics. We would have to know all that, you know. Now, old school's perception of modern hip hop might be a little harsh. So that's a wide range, you know. But it's a good question though. Orlando, we coming, man. We coming. I had some issues I had to take care of yesterday and today that prevented me from going into the lab. But hopefully I can get in there tomorrow or Monday. Realistically, tomorrow or Monday, and I get that verse to you, man. Orlando, y'all, he got at me and said, man, let's put a song together. He came with it. He wasn't shaking and faking and frauding and stunting and we in the mix. So y'all will be hearing some music from me and Orlando, Real Talk TV, real soon, man. Mike Cullen says, follow the symbols. They tell a huge, huge story. JoJo Hip Hop Spot. Would you do a full album with Zero? Yeah. Yeah. You know, I answer that question at least once a week from somebody. But yeah, you know, that's my brother, man. You know, whenever he ready, I'm ready. What's the difference between is and it? An I and a T. I mean, an S and a T. Jovan, cannabis wasn't big on polysyllabic rhyming, but its esoteric writing with metaphysically inclined hyperbolic layers is unparalleled. His lexicon is immeasurable. Can't argue with that. And I don't think, yeah, I think you said it right. If you say he wasn't big on polysyllabic rhyme, that don't mean he couldn't do it. It's just certain things. Every rapper has a category that they they might just not be into doing. And there may be some things that a guy can't do or he's not good at it. But certain things, it's like he can do that. He just don't want to do it. So you found your missing sister? Wow. How long ago was that, Angie? And glad. And how was she? How was she? What state was she in? Is she all right now, mentally, physically? But regardless of the situation, man, that's a blessing, man. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. The Godfather says every lake will end in fire. Shoot me your opinion on the Utah Jazz. Hey, look, we have a sports related. We have an NBA and sports related um, open topic tonight. Um, the current Utah Jazz. I mean, I think they need a superstar, and it's hard to get star players to go play in Utah. You're not Utah's never gonna land a big name free agent. A LeBron or Kevin Durant or a guy like that is never going to sign with the Utah Jazz because it's just that market is just not somewhere that players want to play like that. Now, when they build them homegrown, like they did back in the days with Stockton and Karl Malone, they had Stockton, Karl Malone, they had Mark Eaton, they had Thurl Bailey, then later on, Darren Williams. I think they got Carlos Boozer in the trade, and they got real good Karolinko guys like that. But currently, what they did this year was they put together a good mix of veteran players that were like mid-range veteran guys, not real old guys and not super young guys, just a good veteran mix. Guys like Jordan Clarkson and Laurie Markkinen. They just put together good veterans and they had a good season. And I thought they were going to make the playoffs, but they kind of fell off at the end because you need a star player to kind of carry you over the top. And Marketing was an all-star, but he's not a superstar. So they gonna need some help. They're gonna need some help. I'm kind of far up. I know y'all like, man, he reading comments from way. Yeah, but I'd like to go backwards, man, and just so I won't miss anybody. Mr. Bad Knuckles up in this thing, man. Spikey says, do you think we're surrounded by an ice wall? No. If so, what do you think would be the reason to keep it a secret? You wouldn't be able to keep it a secret. There are too many crafts all around the world, man. People are flying out. People are traveling on ships. These ships, these vessels have navigated the whole planet. And in this day and age, man, if this was an ice wall or we could go off of the edge. Oh, my fault though. I'm not directing this to you. Oh, they have guards who patrol that, so you can't film it and you can't. Nah, that's no ice wall, man. That's no ice wall. All right. You got a show, okay, Jesse Paris, man. Salute to you, man. Blessings on your show, man, tonight. Devin was in Salt Lake. Yeah, Devin be traveling, man. Trying to catch up, y'all. I'm trying to catch up. Open topic. Now, JoJo Jones, you say if LeBron gets swept, it's going to ruin LeBron's legacy. I don't agree with that. You know why? Because this year 20, the Lakers started off 2-10. This is the Lakers record, 2-10. They made those trades. They turned things around. They made it into the playoffs from the play-in game. They barely got into the playoffs and still were not projected to go far. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies, who was a 2 seed, right? They defeated the Grizzlies. They were the 2 seed. The Lakers came in as the 7 seed. A 7 seed should never be the 2 seed, right? They beat Memphis after Memphis was doing all that talk. Then they played Golden State in the second round, the world champs. They eliminated the world champs in 6 games. Was it 6? In 6 games, knocked off the world champs, Golden State Warriors. Both series, right, started off on the road because they was a 7 seed. So they're not going to get the home court in any series, right? So now here you got this play-in team that barely made the playoffs, started off 2-10. They got a superstar that's almost 40 years old, is 20 years. They are in the Final Four right now. So even if they get swept, that's not going to destroy his legacy, because his legacy actually gained some points just from what they accomplished just this year to get this far. So we can disagree on that one. I just know that a lot of sportscasters, a lot of people, they look for any reason to try to, to bring LeBron's legacy down. But man, you got to look at it for what it is. Nobody picked them to even be this far. Some people didn't even pick them to make the playoffs. Jenna Japatis, I can't pronounce that. Oh, you in Finland? Where you at, man? You in Helsinki? That's what's up. One of my favorite places, man. Finland. Lucas says, I'm sure we'd love to hear about how you met other SPC members too. Man, you know what? I've been thinking lately, and this is funny you asked me, you brought that up, because I was thinking about doing a book called The Coalition Chronicles, where I talk about that type of stuff, where I go into just the different members that y'all don't know. Of course, the ones you do know, but some that you don't know, how it started and all that, different stories and all that. But I thought about it. I was like, well, you know what? People who may not be familiar with us, that may not be something that they're interested in. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. Yeah. The dirtiest game you can play is the devil. Is there any type of record label you'd actually shout out? Yeah, I shout out a good record label. See, a record label is a company, right? So a company has staff, it has employees. The employees of the record label are usually the artists, even though I would be more into seeing artists enter into partnerships with labels as opposed to that boss employee type of dynamic. But the way it's constituted, that's what it is. You work for the label, right? So as a boss, though, the label, like any company, should be doing the very best they can to keep their employees happy, to keep those who are staffed under them happy, right? So most people that are on record labels, they're not happy with their deal. They're not satisfied with their deals. There's always something that comes out later. There's always a money issue. There's always a publishing issue, some fine print issue. There's always a contractual dispute, a discrepancy that takes place, right? Which means that you got a bunch of disgruntled workers. So until I see that label come along that has a roster of artists that have nothing but good glowing things to say about the label, they can get their royalty check and be like, ooh, this is all right. You know, there's transparency in the paperwork. Well, we don't have these fancy worded and this complex terminology incorporated in the contracts where artists don't even freaking understand what it is they signing. 360 deals and all these different things, and no transparency or no desire to be in a partnership with an artist. Hard to shout that out. We have to shout it out in the way of exposing it then, you know. Ain't too many labels out there. See, record labels have existed for decades on greed, pure greed, because there's always more than enough generated to pay the artist fairly. Always more than enough. Now, should a label give an artist more than what they deserve to get? I mean, if your record didn't sell and you didn't generate this revenue, then hey man, that's just what it was. But you also factor in the fact that sometimes a record doesn't sell not because it wasn't a good album or a good record, it's because the label failed to do their job in a certain way as far as marketing and promoting and videos and um, giving the artist and giving the project the exposure that it needs. Because if it's a real good project, if it gets the exposure, then the people are going to gravitate to it. But if you get all that and you still don't do well, then now you got to look at the project. It's like, nah, your record wasn't good enough. But when the record is good enough, don't short the artist. Don't rake the artist of the majority of their revenue. And then, you're already taking 90+% on royalties on record sales. But now you want the publishing. And in this day and age, you want merchandise. You want percentages of merchandise. You want percentages of tour revenue. They going after everything. You want percentages of name and image and likeness category. You want all that. So artists find themselves doing all kinds of different things and getting into all different types of other things, ventures, just to try to make money. And that's cool, but when you could have absolutely did well off your music. So you got to show me a good label, then I'll show you one that's worthy of being shouted out. Mm-hmm. So Jenna, was you at the show when I came and performed in Finland? Roll the losing dice. What's going on, homie? Dollar Bill, what's up, my brother? We getting down next weekend, Dollar Bill. All my H-Town people. We're gonna be at the Comic Palooza, promoting our comic book that y'all see right here that I'm pointing to with this pen on my back wall. Say KD failed me. He was supposed to bring the Nets to the title, to the finals. Well, Justin, I'm gonna say this. If you remember that year where Kyrie was hurt and James Harden was coming off of an injury, I really think they would have won it that year if they was healthy. But, Okay, Doyle, I need you to you keep asking the same question, man. I need you to either answer it for the people or somebody answer it for him. catching up. Jimmy says that was dope how AC Chill battle rapped to keep his name. Yeah, man, that was amazing. I got to get my book to read that story. The homie AC Chill, R.I.P. to the great AC Chill. Man, I can't never say your name. I'm just gonna call you L. Yep. Keandria, what's going on? How are you tonight? What's true, Pat Warren? I'm catching up, so I don't know what I said that's true or not. Jovan says, I have respect for Rakim as a pioneer of lyricism, but he's exceeded by light years by a diversity of abstract writers linguistically. Well, let me say this to you so you'll have an understanding. Because we disagree. And I'm going to tell you why. When you are the father of what everybody is doing now, then you cannot be exceeded by those who are doing what they're doing now. Because they would not be doing what they're doing now that you view as being so far advanced had it not been for the foundation that was laid by Rakim. So when we talk about, like you mentioned earlier, you mentioned multi-syllabic rhyme schemes and all that. He was one of the first that was doing that. That was unthought of, unheard of at the time. So people can take things to different levels. People can add wrinkles and tweaks and enhancements to certain things. It's kind of like dunking a basketball. If you watch the first dunk contest that ever took place back in the ABA with Dr. J and David Thompson and George Gervin and all those guys, if you watch that dunk contest now, if you 20 years old and you watch that dunk, you've never seen it, you watch that dunk contest now, and you've seen all of the modern day dunk contest, then you're like, oh man, them dudes didn't know how to dunk. Man, look at those old basic dunks. But those dunks were the foundation of what they're doing. They gave birth to the imagination of the future dunkers. So while Rakim's verses were not primitive by any stretch of the imagination, even to this day, some of his old stuff is just far advanced. He gave birth. Kumo D gave birth. Tila Rock and others that I might not be thinking about. They gave birth to that modern day style of multi-syllabic rhyme schemes because they was doing this in the 80s. And if you listen to some of the stuff, you listen to Lyrics of Fury, go listen to Lyrics of Fury by Rakim. Go listen to Follow the Leader. Check out My Melody. You can hear how he was putting them words together, man. I mean, that was advanced. I was 14 years old hearing this stuff. Like, he was different. He was a cyborg, man. So if rappers come along now and they start to create different styles and they start to push the envelope a little further out, that's beautiful, that's fine. But within whatever they do, inside of whatever we do, that's now considered to be, wow, that's way out there. Inside of that is a core, like an apple with a core. Inside of that is a core, a foundation. And that foundation would not be, it would be hollow if it not were for people like Rakim. See, and another thing that you got to always look at, nephew, is that it's real easy for people to look at the past and study what was already done and then expand on it. That's easy to do. What's hard to do is to be the creator and the originator of something that had never been done. That's the difference. See, I can listen to your verse. If me and you get on a song together, I can listen to your verse. Oh, let me listen to his verse. I can study every little part of your verse, and I can put something together that I feel is better than, because I've had your verse to use as a guide. But if we both in two different rooms, you can't hear what I'm coming up with, I can't hear what you coming up with. Now we on our own. So the people of today, they can easily, I can go back and watch. Why you think Kobe was so close to Mike? Because he watched tapes of Michael Jordan and studied every move, the footwork, the body positioning, the form. He studied, so now he became like Jordan 2.0. Then people say, oh, Kobe's way better than Michael. And we love Kobe, but it's disrespectful. I'm better than him. Nah, you can't ever say, you can say it and people can have that opinion. I can't knock your opinion, but the reality is, are you better if you took everything that I did and studied it and incorporated into, are you really better than them? Are you? Got to give credit where it's due. If part of your greatness, if a vast majority of your greatness is predicated on the greatness of somebody that you studied day and night, man, you can't go down that road. Got to give it where it's due. I'll never say I'm better than KRS-One and Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and Tila. I'll never say that. Because the majority of what I have been able to build came through my love and study of them. You know, we talked about earlier passing the baton. Yeah, the greats passed the baton. They say, yeah, young fella, see what I laid out? Okay, now you take it. It's your turn. You go build on it. You go build on it. See? And that's your job to do. Make it greater. Stack it. Add your brick to the building. But at a certain point, in certain situations, all we can do is add bricks. The foundation has been laid. You can strengthen the foundation. And see, the gospel say, I saw the first ever dunk contest online. It was horrible. Kareem was in. Now, see, but it wasn't horrible then because it had never been done. There was no such thing as a dunk contest. It was a new, innovative thing. It had never been done. So if a guy just goes up and just does a regular little, he goes to the hole and just boom, everybody's, it's never been done. So then guys start freaking it out. Okay, well, I'm gonna go behind the back. Boom. I'm gonna go through the legs. Boom. You know, J.R. Ryder, he wasn't the first guy to go through the legs in a dunk contest. He wasn't. J.R. Ryder did it, won the dunk contest. He brought it back and he put a little sauce on it, went through the legs and boom, he put some sauce. Then Kobe came and did it a couple years later. But they wasn't the first to do that. First person I saw go through the legs and do a dunk in a dunk contest was a guy named Orlando Woolridge. I don't know if he was the first, but he was the first that I saw back in the 80s. He went through the legs and did it then, and it kind of just went under the radar. Y'all see this dude just went through his legs and dunked. Larry Nance dunked 2 basketballs at the same time. So it just got more and more creative. I grew up in this. I watched it. So I saw, like Brother D. Nails just said, the evolution. Every year you had to be more creative because you couldn't keep coming back with the same thing. So that's how rap was. Like, now you got to come out and be more creative. I can't be on the level of this guy, and now I'll come back again. I'm still on this level. I'm still on this level. Now this guy went here. This guy took it here. This guy took it here. This guy. That's how life. That's how everything evolves. See, you turned 34 on the 15th. Well, I was there about 9 years ago in Finland, so you probably could have made it to that one. You'd have been in your early 20s, but I did a quick show. Is that BT Loggy? I've been trying to get your books, but they always out of stock. Yeah, we be running through the books. We'll have them back up pretty soon. Brother Chris, you can probably go on the website and get the t-shirt now. We got shirts, Dollar Bill. What do you think about Cool Keith? OG, legend, nothing but respect. Do I know any natural herbs that can treat IBS? Let me get back to you on that. IBS is irritable bowel syndrome. I'll get back to you on that because my dad, he's a herbalist. So I'll ask him if he knows anything about IBS. But I know if you're talking about the bowels, that's only the intestines. And I know you can never go wrong with doing a cleanse. And so if you colon cleansing with natural herbs, from what I know about cleansing the colon, when you remove the toxins from your colon, it gives your body the ability to start to repair itself. And when you get rid of the toxins and your body can properly go about the business of repairing itself, then I'm no doctor and I don't play one on TV, but I would assume that that would be something that would help. But I'll double check. And next time we come on, if you remind me, I'll tell you what he relays to me. But clean yourself out, cleanse your colon. And don't get any colon cleansing herbs that have chemicals in them. Get something that's natural. Open topic, y'all. Y'all on it tonight, man. Y'all hit the like button if y'all haven't already. If y'all haven't already, hit that like button, man. History Obscura says it's the best thing to do in research. The topic is open topic, history. Open topic. Whatever's on your mind. Yeah. Ooh, y'all young. Blues Girl 65. K-Rino, I love your old school and respect you beyond words. Don't always agree with you, but much respect. Much respect back to you. You know, I mean, we're not going to always agree. You have people that you see every day that you love, family members, mama, daddy, brother, sister, boyfriend. Y'all don't always agree, but y'all still good. Y'all still cool. That's life. See, we can focus on our commonality. We can focus on our common ground, on things that we do agree on, and then I can guarantee you that we would probably agree on more than we disagree on. But it's a real thing to say, just to let people know, hey man, I respect you. Hey, I might not agree with everything you say, but you all right with me. So that's cool. Oh, hold on, wait a minute, Jovan. We got Michelle up in here. I forgot Michelle is a herbalist herself. Michelle Woods. She says sea moss. Is that hydrangea? Cordoncillo negro cascara. Ooh, y'all hear me reading. Sagrada rhubarb. All these things, this is for IBS, Michelle. If this is for IBS, and Jovan, you need to pay attention and do some research. Because Michelle be on it, man. She be knowing her stuff, man. Valley of Decision seems pretty unique to me. Someone told me Megadeth did something similar but different. Now that song, High Ren doing it. It'll sound like that. Who? High Ren. What is that? Yeah, I mean, ain't nothing new under the sun. It's 8 billion people on the planet, so people will come up with the same idea or similar ideas. It's like rappers using the same sample. Bunch of rappers have used the same sample. They just do it their own way. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. So a lot of people have done certain ideas, and I've done songs, and people say, "Oh, you got that off of." I ain't get it off of nobody. We just happen to both do something similar, but I don't listen to people's music and then, oh, I'm gonna do that. I pride myself on being original, but I know that somebody in Timbuktu can come up with the same idea as somebody in New Jersey somewhere. It happens. It is what it is. And they can all be good. Yeah. BGN says, Cool Keith is dope, super innovative. He be clowning suckers like no other, waiting for the K-Rino Cool Keith EP. Libertarian minded. Return of the Sorcerer? Maybe. Hold up, y'all. Let's do an OG salute, man. I got my brother from another up in here, man. OGKO, South Park Coalition since 1988. Everybody in here, we need to do an OG salute real quick. Y'all know what the OG salute is. That means that everybody in the chat, we're going to show some love and some homage to one of my brothers who helped build this SPC thing up, man. So I need y'all right now to either put up a peace sign or put up a power fist, put up a 100, or there's some kind of symbol of love, man. A heart, a strong arm, whatever you got, man. Start putting them up right now for my homie Soul Worthy 713, aka KO South Park Coalition, man. Y'all have heard him singing on many of my records, singing on many of other South Park Coalition members' records. Been in this thing 30 plus years. So y'all drop them salutes right now. Zawaji Muhammad is in here. Hold on, I ain't see brother Zawaji. Hold on. Lundy Dixon says black people started style dunking. Black people started dunking. Period. Not just style dunking. You weren't allowed to dunk. Brother first came through and boom that thing. They were like, oh no. So dunking was outlawed in a lot of schools and leagues, and you couldn't dunk in college for a long time. We invented the dunk, man. I think I saw George Mikan dunk one time. Yeah. There y'all go, man. Drop that love for my brother. Oh yeah, y'all dropping a lot of love. Yeah. Imagine a world all languages are unified into a single universal language. How might this linguistic unification impact cultural diversity, communication, and the preservation of unique perspectives? Well, it sounds good, but you got to understand. If you say imagine a world, all languages are unified into a single universal language, we live in a nation that's predominantly English speaking. So that doesn't stop racism. It doesn't stop hate. It doesn't stop crime. It doesn't stop. The heart of the person has to change. The hearts of the people have to change, regardless of what language we speak. Because two people or three people in the same room that from different lands speak totally different languages, don't understand the word the other one's saying, but they have good hearts. They have loving hearts. They have love for the Creator. They have love for their fellow man. They find a way to get along and communicate and transcend um, linguistic lines, right? So it's not necessarily about the language. Language would not unify. Language would just give us the understanding of how to communicate. But if we are still communicating hate and communicating negativity towards each other, so we both understand the negativity, it's about changing here. It's about becoming unified up here. You can fall in love with somebody from another country. You can go on vacation and meet a woman that's just the most beautiful thing. You just fall in love with her, and she don't speak a lick of English, and you don't speak a lick of whatever she knows. But just something, y'all got that connection. Y'all gonna figure it out. Yep. I didn't know your music then, but I found you just 3 years ago from my ex, talented popular UG underground rapper, and is that Oulu? Aulu? Rapped 18 years. His morning started with you. Okay, that's what's up. Hey, Jovan, they giving you some suggestions, man. Just go do your research. Is that Idle Rich 123? Sienna pod leaf with some prune juice will clean you out. But his friend told that you were in some after party. No, I wouldn't have no after party. Mm. Mm-mm. That wasn't me. I don't go to the after party. I ain't been to the after party since KO. When the last time we went to the after party? I can't remember. We don't do that. Mm-mm. You don't catch me at the after party, sir. Ma'am, I'm sorry. Um, I'll go to the after party under one condition. If I'm booked to perform at the after party and they paying me, then you might see me at the after party. But going to hang out, mm, mm, not no more. Mm. Andrew Lyon says, "What's up, Kay? Just tuned in. What are your thoughts on keeping ourselves clean from sexual lust in our mind, especially with how much is promoted?" Shh. We're born in sin and shaped in iniquity, man. Um, you just said how much is promoted. You have to, the best you can, avoid avenues that place those kind of temptations in your sight. Will you be able to do that on a 100% scale? No. But like you say, sometimes it just comes. You just checking your Facebook and bam, oh, they twerking. Oh, you just scrolling along and oh, she bending it over. You flipping channels, watching TV, and oh, So it's hard to escape it. So if the external visuals are everywhere you pivot your head, then now that means you, me, everybody else have to look internally to build discipline, to build self-discipline. And the building of self-discipline strengthens you to the point where when you come across it from an external, now when it comes across your eyes, you are strengthened to resist it, to resist the temptation to do what? Because it ain't always about going into the act. It's about where the mind, where your mind is taken just from the initial contact of the visual. So you at the beach and there she goes. You just walk by in a string bikini. That's boom. That's a discipline. That's a time for discipline to kick in and be like, oh, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. I can't help but see it. I can't help but respect it and admire it. And like, okay, I'm a natural man. She's a natural woman. Because they don't just apply to men looking at women, it applies to women looking at men, the same thing. So it's natural, but it's how you self-check. You check it. I don't have to act on it. And I don't have to create a scenario in my mind either. Because that's what's gonna happen more times than not. You're not gonna link up with every person you see. It's impossible. But your mind can start to create the scenario inside of it, which will lead you or could lead you to pursuing the satisfaction of the temptation. So the self-discipline got to be implemented to say, yeah, I see it. It's kind of like if you was fasting. Just because you say, hey man, I'm fasting today. I'm fasting for 3 days. I'm not gonna eat food for 3 days. That don't mean you not gonna go to somebody's house and as soon as you hit the door, they cooking and you that smell don't hit you. Or you fasting. I'm not eating for 3 days. And you watching TV and a commercial comes on and it's a food commercial, you're still gonna be presented with the temptation. It's about how we build internally. Is it easy? No. Possible? Yes. BGN says, giving flowers. I've heard countless people use it after that album. Sports announcers, rappers. What album? What album, BGN? Okay, Michelle, I'll check it out. You sent it on Instagram? I'm all over the place, y'all. So I might answer your question. It might be a question you asked me 18 minutes ago, and I'm going, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'll say your name so you'll at least know. Brother Christopher X says, Michelle, what can I use to get my lost vision back from glaucoma? Brother Chris, I didn't know you was going through the glaucoma thing. Stacy R. Yeah, man, y'all shout out to the homie KO. Oh, High Ren is the name of the song. Okay, gotcha. Appreciate that. Badash. Okay, y'all. Okay, I'm behind, y'all. Zeaxanthin protects cells of eyes getting burned, radiated from computer and cell phone blue blockers. Blues Girl says, and when evil can't get you, it will come for what you love, your children, etc. Yeah, in some cases, yeah, that's very true. Depending on what type of evil is after you. We got to be able to distinguish external from internal evil. Lady Dragon, are you 6'4", big bro? Dunk on them boys. I am 6'4". I can't dunk no more. These old knees and legs, I can't get up. I can still grab, I can touch the rim, but I can't turn it over no more. I can't dunk no more. Can't dunk no more, Lady Dragon. I'm sorry. I'll be like that boy in that commercial that got hung on the rim and can't do that. Hey man, y'all give me 14 more likes, man. If y'all haven't hit the like button, hit it right now. Let's get to 100 likes like right now. Can we get to 100 likes in the next 60 seconds? Start clicking that like button, that thumbs up right now, man. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes in the next 60 seconds, man. Yeah. Trevor says self-discipline equals self-righteousness, or righteousness of self. Because self-righteousness got another definition that's not all that good. 5 more likes, man. See, we almost there, man. We can do anything we put our mind to. Can you share your thoughts on the concept of sacrifice, giving your life for others, and its significance in today's society? I mean, you know, sacrifice is a beautiful thing, and it has its place. It's a good thing in proper context. Now when a lot of people have um, misconstrued what sacrifice is about, and like I say, the context of it. So like that, you get caught up in some cult stuff, and we have to sacrifice ourselves so the great um, pterodactyl can come and bring our souls to the mountain. Nah. Sacrifice is um, okay. I'm struggling right now. There's only enough food for 2 people, and I got 2 children. So I'm gonna sacrifice. I'm gonna not eat and make sure my children eat. That's a sacrifice. Sacrifice is, oh man, these people are trying to jump on my mother, my sister. I'm not. Hey man, I'm willing to die, man. I'll jump in the mix and fight to the death for my family. I'll give my life. I'll dive in the pool and save this little boy and try to say, sacrifice on those levels. Sacrifice is doing something that's not necessarily comfortable in that moment, but it will make somebody else's life better, somebody else's situation better in that moment. So you may give time when you don't have it. Okay, let me help him out. He really needs me in this moment. So I'm gonna talk to him. Because I don't want this fool to kill himself. You sacrifice that time. You give of your energy. You give of your resources. I don't have a lot of money. Man, you know what? I was gonna buy Xbox with this money, man. But my sister's about to get evicted from her apartment and she need $300, man. I'm gonna sacrifice what I wanted to make things better for her. Sacrifice is a good thing. Give me 2 more likes, man. How we gonna get to 98 likes and get stuck? All right. I got lost, y'all. Let me see. Oh yeah, we made it. We made it. We made it. I hope to come back defending again one day, Jenna. Yep. Oh, my vision. Okay. Striving to be aware, the self-accusing spirit. Yeah, brother D. Nail. The self-accusing spirit, that's that God voice inside of us that naturally tells us when we're doing wrong, about to do wrong, or thinking of doing wrong. It's naturally in us. Even when you little, you just naturally know. I heard Mr. Farrakhan talking along those lines one day. He was talking about how like a little baby somehow knows when they're doing something that they're not supposed to do. They just somehow know. You could tell how they do it, and they kind of just like hide, or when you hit the corner and catch them, they, you know, something in us naturally. God's voice, self-accusing spirit, the self-accusing spirit. Ooh, man, come on, brother D. Now, Drought, you might dunk on me. You might dunk on me, Drought. You might. So I can't get up like that. Nah, Trevor, I ain't getting old. I'm getting older. I still run circles around 20-something years old, so I know I ain't getting old. Go on my channel, on this channel here, and go watch some of my basketball games that I post from time to time. Go watch how I still move on the basketball court and tell me if I'm getting old. No, I don't have a Venmo, Bryson. Let's make a porno. You should definitely post those videos you make about life on TikTok. You know what? I ain't did a TikTok thing. I'm always late. I'm just not getting on Instagram. I came to Facebook late. I came to Twitter late. I came to Instagram late. So might as well come to TikTok late, huh? Yep. All praise is due to Allah. God saved your life. I don't know what he said through me, but it wasn't me. Let's make this. It was God. Front Row by Abstract Tribe Unique. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. You say children naturally take swine off a pizza? Them some smart ones right there. The smart ones are. Yeah. I don't even know what this word you put, Jovan. You asked me, am I a Libro cubicularis caloris? I don't know. I have no idea what that is, sir. So I couldn't tell you if I was one of those, and I don't even know what it is. Yeah. Inshallah, Lord's will be done. Oh, it will be done. I'm gonna take your advice. Let's make Haley B. Discernment. Okay. Send me an email. Let's make. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can make that happen. Archangel. We respect that honestly. I already know anyone else would have threw a quick lie. Hey man, if I don't know, I don't know, bro. One of the One of the weirdest, craziest things you can do is just try to act like you know everything. And people, there are people who do that. People just have to carry themselves like they know everything. So whatever that word, Jovan, yes, I'm a lubricalinarist. Yes, I've been one for 18 years. You find out it means something that was almost impossible for you to be. A person who reads in bed. Okay, if that's what it means. I used to be that. I used to read in bed all the time. And I stopped doing it. I used to always read in bed. I used to do my best reading in bed because when I'm up, it's always other stuff that I'm more interested in doing. Sad but true. Yep. So yeah, learn a new word from my little nephew. Angel, what's up, Angel Gomez? What's up, man? Hey, look, y'all. Let me show y'all something real quick. Um, we got some shows coming up. I'll be in San Antonio, Texas, June 2nd. We got a show in Houston, June 10th. I got the address to that one. June 10th. Um, I thought I had the address to that. Oh, I do. Okay. That's June 10th. Now, June 3rd, in Elgin, Texas. I don't know if it's pronounced Elgin or Elgin. I'm gonna say Elgin because we got a street in Houston called Elgin. We call it Elgin. We got a pop-up shop. We got a meet and greet June 3rd in Elgin, Texas. I don't know if y'all anywhere close by there. The address will be 207. Hold on. I got all this stuff wrote down. From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. A lot going on. Elgin, Texas. I don't wear glasses, Godfather, but I need to because I'm blind. I can't see. I need to wear glasses. Bryson, make it happen, man. I'll come to Salt Lake. I ain't got no connects out there. D-Town Sounds. Can you make a song about what is that? The Seschi KB Act of 1666. I gotta look that up. I don't know what that is either. Come on down, Angel. Write that address down. It's gonna be South Park Coalition. It'll be me, Point Blank, Dopey, Klondike Cat. We're doing a meet and greet, man. We're gonna perform and everything. June 3rd in Elgin, Texas. So if you can make the trip, I know it's your son's birthday. If y'all can make the trip, cool. If not, hey man, celebrate with your son and your family, bro. Next weekend, May 26th, Comic Palooza, Houston, Texas. George R. Brown Convention Center. Man, I forgot to ask Dollar Bill what time it starts. Y'all come and support our booth, man. We'll be promoting the comic book. Y'all come through, man. D-Town Sounds. Is that Dallas? We'll be in Dallas, Texas, June 24th. Location to be announced. But we'll be in Dallas, Texas. We got a lot coming up, man. Got a lot going on, man. A lot going on. I just put the email. Let's make a porno. I'll put it again. That's my email address right there. Appreciate it, Blues Girl. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, man. As long as God bless me, I'm thankful. Checking out Lady Dragon. Salute. Blessings to you. Appreciate your time. Much love to y'all. You say if I put stingless bee honey in my eyes, I won't need glasses. Will I be able to see? I'm just like, hey, why don't you, hey, BGN, why don't you do that for me? Because I think about that all the time. But also, what I want to do, BGN, I want to see if you want to get in on trying to make this SPC album cover. If you want to, I can send you the pictures and tell you the title of the album because we got like 4 people working on it, and we're just gonna pick the best one. And even if we don't use what other the graphic designers do, we'll still the pictures will be used for something. But yeah, it'd be dope, man, if you can make me a flyer with all these events coming up in the next week or two. Cause I'll be forgetting stuff, man. Thank God, man. Being busy is a blessing. Always remember that, y'all. Never complain when you got work ahead of you, man. Especially work that you love to do. Because a lot of people sitting around wishing that they had work to do. Yeah. And they don't have anything to do. Appreciate that, Bryson. Hold on, y'all. Talk among yourselves. All right. My bad. We verse sooner. Okay, that's how the Vatican claimed ownership of the entire world. Okay. We'll look that up. Instinct hip hop. Sitting around sucks. You waste your life away. You got to work and be productive at all times. You got to always have something. Your wheels got to always be turning, man. See, we are a species that we movement is what generates purpose for us. Activity. We got to have activity going on at all times, man. Keep our mind sharp. You don't want your mind dulled out, your senses dulled out. You have to always have some type of mental and physical exercise going on. You got to always be um, problem solving in your mind. You got to always be organizing, planning, preparing. You got to have a purpose. You got to have something to do. A blessing in the burden. Hold on, man. Wait a minute. This tech. Identify yourself, sir. DJ. Identify yourself. Duke Togo says, "What are your thoughts on Joe Biden?" Joe Biden is just another one in a long line of snakish, dirty, conniving, racist presidents. pretty much. Would I consider myself to be an anti-racist? You would have to you'd have to elaborate on what your definition of an anti-racist is. I'm a person who loves my people. I respect all people. I have no hate towards any race of people. But I will call out any people who are racist or oppressive towards my people or any people, and I'll call them out for who they are and what they are. And some people misinterpret that as being racist or overly radicalized or whatever you want to say it, militant or whatever you want to say it. But nah. Back Porch Studio, my homie, man. The other day somebody turned on the TV and ooh, Biden came on the screen and I didn't recognize him. You didn't recognize him? Why? Why didn't you recognize him? Drought says lesser evil than Trump. Well, you know, I don't think it's wise to ever play that type of mindset, that type of game. The lesser of two evils game. It's not wise. Because if you say one is the lesser of the two evils, which we don't know who's the lesser. See, Biden is labeled a lot of time as being the lesser of the two evils between him and Trump because of the presentation. Because you have one who is more open and more blunt, and you kind of know where you stand, as opposed to one who is, like I said, snakish, slick, deceptive with words that gives you the impression that he's for you, but he's just as bad or possibly worse than the one who openly shows you. Like I say, covert versus overt. So we don't know. So to say it's the lesser of two evils, but to give weight to your argument, just to play with your argument, right? If he was the lesser of the two evils, then you got to start asking your questions like, okay, yourself questions like, to what degree? So if this guy's evil is a 9.6, and then you say, well, this guy's he's lesser evil, but he's a 9.2, then what's the difference? See? Or his evil is more impactful because this guy may have done 20 evil things, but this guy may have done 3 that were more impactful than the one who did the 20. So if you look at Joe Biden's role in the crime bill back in the 90s, right? That bill alone is responsible for the incarceration of so many black men that were small-time drug dealers, somewhere in the middle, somewhere a little above, and the throw the book mentality that was implemented in that bill that wiped out, that just obliterated the black community in terms of losing a lot of black men to incarceration, some that are still incarcerated under that law for nonviolent offenses. Joe Biden was all up in that, in the construction of that, in the pushing of that. So perspective got a lot to do with it. Who is he a lesser evil to? I make no distinction between any of them, whether it be Trump, whether it be George Washington. George Washington, the father of our country. I make no distinction. Because they all got their own style. But that's just me. See? KO say I'd rather have overt than covert. Me too, any day. I want to know. Some of y'all work with people that just, they smile at y'all every morning and they can't stand y'all. You thinking you good with them. They don't like you at all. But you got that other coworker who clearly shows you that they don't like you. Y'all look, he look at you crazy, or she look at you crazy. And, y'all don't do each other. It is fine. Y'all know where y'all stand. I'm comfortable with that. Because the one who pretends like they cool with me, they might put me in a position with my guard down because I'm thinking we good. I like to know. I like to know. I need to know. You don't like me? I need to know. And I'm going to be thankful. Duke Togo, sorry we missed you. Oh, come on, Duke. Come on, man. Where was you at, man? Why were you not there, Duke? You missed a great show, man. Did you hear anything about it? Yehudi says Biden is worse. Viper. I can respect anyone who can tell you straight up to your face how they feel. Yeah. Thank you. I'd rather know. You might be sleeping with the enemy. See? You might be sleeping with the enemy, man. Okay. Well. What does Dope E think about Joe Biden? Boy. If you but knew. Yeah. Stacey R say low-key hater. That's in anything in life. Browns Boy 23, what's up, man? Hey, y'all drop y'all locations, man. I see a few new names in the building. I can shout y'all out. Drop your locations. Michelle says some haters just want what you got. Yeah. And that always amazed me. That thought process always amazed me because it's like I can want what you got. I just don't want yours. If you got a nice car and live in a nice house, I can want that for me too. I can say, man, I would like to have a nice house like that, a nice car like that. But I'm never going to say, I want his car. I want his wife. I want his house. And it's people that think like that. They want your exact house. They want you out and them in. Man, I'd like to have a good, loving, caring, beautiful, respectable woman like he has. I want his loving, caring, beautiful, respectable woman. Why you want another man's wife? Why you want another woman's husband? Shout y'all out, man. Drought, you might already be sleeping with the enemy. Cape Town, South Africa, Instinct Hip Hop. Yehudi is in Houston, Texas. We verse Dallas, Fort Worth. We coming out that way. We verse D-Town Sounds. We coming to Dallas, man. I'm gonna have the information. If y'all want to get on the contact list, if anybody wants to get on our contact list, send me an email, and all I need is just the city you located in. That's all. You ain't got to tell me none of your personal business and none of that. I just need the city where you located. Say, I'm in Dallas, Texas. Put me on the contact list. So that way, when we come into y'all town, we can reach out in advance and let y'all know we got events coming up, and y'all can make it. Come out and hang out. We like I say, we got events in San Antonio, Dallas, Elgin, Texas, all these different spots. Houston next week. We got Houston next week, Houston next month. So we got a lot of stuff coming up, man. So Demetrius out there in Chicago. Yeah, man. Dopey did his thing in Colorado. Browns boy in 23 is in Ohio. Angelo is in the phone. Come on, man. We coming out that way, man. Y'all need to come. I just put my email, man. If y'all want to be on my contact list, just send me an email and say, put me on the list. Brother D Nail out there in Cincinnati, Ohio repping hard, man, always. Ohio always repping hard, man. Shinobi out there in Japan. History out there in Oregon. What pictures? Badash, what pictures? You sent them to my email? What up, Leslie Arena? The people who love to hate you, they hate to love you. That's what made them love to hate you, because they hated to love you. Man, this dude is just so, man, this lady just so dope. Man, I hate that I love her. Man, I hate that I love him. But I'm going to love hating him. Not bad. I thought I had a blackout or something. Still shouting y'all out, man. Angel in Lockhart, Texas. Speaking of AI, go to the Underground Dialogue podcast. The episode about AI is up. It's up, man. A lot of y'all been asking me questions what I think about artificial intelligence and all that. The episode is up, man. So please do your big brother favor and go support the podcast and subscribe, man. Y'all missing out on a lot of good content. Like I said, I ain't on there cussing people out and arguing and fighting and talking crazy and disrespectful. So I know that that's boring to y'all. If I ain't on there going off and arguing and disrespecting women and all that, I know that might be a little boring to y'all. I'm just dropping some good info, man. So go in there and wash dishes or go and clean up and just listen to it. Just let it play and y'all listen. Yeah. We coming back though, Duke. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna come back with the crew. Me, Dope, Blank, and Cat. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do an SPC show out. We probably do it at the same spot. Drought out there in Southeast Houston, Texas. I want to see y'all at the George R. Brown Convention Center next week, man. Y'all come and support my comic book booth next week. Yeah, there we go, reverse. There we go. Hmm. You say the globe not spinning behind me? It better not be spinning, because that's just a replica. It's not powered by anything. So no, it's not spinning. That globe is not. But the one we're sitting on is. Leslie, you in Delaware? Can you discuss the power of belief against want without the need for validation? I'm not sure I understand the question. The power of belief against want? I don't want to answer a question without fully understanding what it is you're asking. With the belief that we create our own results. Now, I get that part. We do create our own results to a high degree, because it's like saying a prayer and then just expecting it to magically come to pass for you. We got the power to bring into existence whatever we put our minds to do. We just have to do it. You got to believe in yourself, though. Some people don't even believe in themselves. Yeah. We go to Colorado. We already went to Colorado, KO. We were in Colorado a few weeks back. The next trips are in Texas. Who is the producer you'd like to work with no holds barred? Um, mm, maybe Premier or Dre. I don't know. Nayeli, Nayeli, where you been? Where have you been? I ain't seen you in a while. Where are you? Where have you been? My old friend stole girls and others' ideas, then karma, and turned to, what's that? Flip it. I don't know what that is. Yeah, man, you can't go around targeting people's stuff, man, and trying to take it. Yeah. I just said when we go back. We've been going every year, so we may go back next year. Some people aren't naturally meant to be good at something. Yeah, of course. Everybody can't be good at everything. God gives gifts to everybody, so it's something that you're really good at that I can't do. Look, you remember you grew up in the neighborhood and you had it was always the people that you grew up in the neighborhood. Somebody knew how to flip real good. I never understood that. Dude just take off running, and we like 8 years old. He just naturally knows how to do these back flips like gymnastics. It's like, how you know how to do that? I can never flip ever in my life because it just wasn't me. My body wouldn't construct it to do that. That's how it is. So people that rap, it's people that can really rap. They can rap. They just have a natural gift. People that can naturally sing, they just have the gift of being able to sing. And somebody else try to sing and they can't stay on key, can't care, but they think they can sing. Some people know how to fight, never had no training, just got them hands naturally. So everybody got something. Some people have high intelligence, really good at math. Some people can't tell you what 8 times 9 is. Nayeli, you been in college? Okay. Hitting them books. There you go. Hit them books. Glad to see you. Don't be no stranger. Don't blow up and forget about us little people down here. Oh, Jeff. Okay, look, Jeff. I'm talking about Jeff. Doug, look. I want to hear him. Because look, Doug, you know yourself, I'll do a show with a live band in a minute. So who knows? Every day is a discipline from God. Every day is a gift, man. Yeah, man. Chris K agrees. Some of this natural gift. Yeah, God don't leave us out here with nothing. He gave everybody something. Some people find it instantly. Some people take a long time to find it. Unfortunately, some people never find it. But you got to look for it. So yeah, everybody. And sometimes we waste years trying to operate in a lane that's not our lane. Just because I love rap music and all my homies are doing it, that don't mean I can do it. I can try it. Let me see if I can rap too. But my raps ain't coming out like theirs. That means it's maybe not meant for me to do. Let me get into producing. Let me be the video guy or something. Let me be the promoter. My gift may lie in some other category. But you got to find it out. You got to figure it out. Yeah, BGN, please make me a painting. I will put it right on my wall. See, Michelle, there you go. There you go. You know why? You said the guy that tried stealing my wisdom for his book wrote it all wrong. He is going to look like an idiot. Yeah. Well, because what happens is nobody can do you better than you. That's all that is. So they can steal all they want. They can try to copy all they want. Nobody can do you better than you can do yourself. See? So yeah, so when he puts it out, he may fool a few people. He may get a few people, but he's just that. It's going to be a copy. He's a copy. A copy will never match the substance of an original. It can't do it. It's too much weight and substance in the original. That's why certain artists don't really last long, because they've been cookie cut and placed out there, and there's no volume. They just there. Then when the real artist steps up, then you see the difference. It's like, ooh, no, this dude here, oh, she's a real deal. Have you ever heard of the Christ oil inside of a human body? No, I've never heard of that. If so, do you think the idea holds any weight? No, I've never heard of Christ oil. What are they saying that is? If it's not in you, can you will your way to doing it? Now, that's a good question, because it's certain things that you may not just have a natural talent to do, but there are certain things that you can work your way and practice your way into becoming good or great at. That's a fact. I'm not a natural great shooter, but I can practice and practice my shot until my shot gets better. Then I can work my way to becoming a really good to great shooter. That's one thing. That is a something that you can physically work your way into greatness. Other skills and other gifts, they have to naturally be in you. Like I said, like singing. If you can't sing, man, you can't sing. You can take voice lessons. You can do all these different things to try to. If you just don't have that natural, innate ability to sing without even understand, without even having to concentrate or focus on being on key. You don't even have to focus or concentrate to instantly do harmony, right? Real singers can never meet each other. They just get together and they can harmonize, right? That's something you can't necessarily teach. So certain things don't matter what you try to practice, and that's just not for you to do. But yeah, other things, yeah, you can pick up, you can learn. It's like, okay, man, you know what? I don't know nothing about plumbing, being a pipe fitter or whatever it is. I don't know nothing about that, but I can learn that and I can become good at that. So that's not necessarily can be labeled as my gift. It can just be labeled as a trade that I picked up. Anybody can do, yeah. But that natural gift, everybody can't just learn that. Christ consciousness is the goal. Big Ock, yeah. Big Ock is in the building. South Bronx in the building. What if naturally not good at life? There's no such thing as being naturally not good at life. That's a choice. You choose to accept a defeatist mindset. I'm not good at life. I mean, you're not good at life. You're living. So if you're living, you have an opportunity to improve your life. You can't naturally not be good at life because life itself is a natural thing. You can't sing. Well, you say your daughter got out, but she got it from you. See? Your daughter got it from you. They got it from you. That gene was passed down, just like you got it from your mama now. That's how that works. That's why you see little children 3, 4, 5 years old. They 2, 3 years old, already singing, harmonizing. Like, how do you know how to do that? Ain't nobody teach them how to do that. It was born. What's my opinion on Marcus Garvey? Marcus Garvey is one of the greatest revolutionaries we ever had to ever be born. A visionary, a revolutionary, one of the fathers of Black consciousness, one of the most feared men by America to ever walk the planet. That's why they deported him. That's why they got rid of him. One of the greatest unifying presences ever among Black people. What can I say about it? Say what I said last night to y'all. Life is what you make it. Life can be hard. Life can be unfair. But if you think you're the victim, then guess what? That's what you are. But if you rise into your God consciousness, then you overcome the obstacles of life. You go to war with it. That's the thing. You're supposed to go to war with the difficulty. You don't just okay, life. All right, life, you got me. I'll just punk out. Go to war with the difficulty and overcome it. And like the Holy Quran says, after difficulty comes ease. You're trying to get to the ease. So you got to face the difficulty, get past it to get to the ease. You ever carry something heavy up some stairs? When you first pick it up, you're like, okay, before you pick it up, you're like, man, this thing's gonna be heavy. Then you look up the stairs, man, I gotta carry this thing all this thing. You already think about the task and how difficult it is. You pick it up, it's heavy, you're walking upstairs, you're struggling, it's heavy, your arms hurting, you feel your muscles pulling. You gotta get in the door, you gotta walk it all the way to the back room, and then you set it down, and when you set it down, you go, ease. Because you got the difficulty out the way. That's how life works. You face the difficulty. Let me get it over with. Let me go through it. But if you look at the thing that you got to get upstairs, and that's too heavy. I'm just gonna leave it down here. Hope somebody else come and do it. You're not building character like that. Not building character. Eddie F says the biggest war I find is within myself. That's the biggest war you're gonna ever fight. Is within yourself. See? Life is what you make it. I'm gonna make it no matter what takes. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna take it. Yeah. Got no choice. We have turned into a weak generation, bro. I'm just gonna call it for what it is. We don't wanna face nothing. Every little thing is, oh, the world is against me. You know, I don't like that. Man up. Everybody is against me. Everything goes wrong. Man, get off of that, man. You ain't the first or the last person gonna go through problems and gonna go through struggles and gonna have bad breaks, setbacks, whatever. The world don't revolve around you. And everything you cry about, you do it disrespectfully, not thinking about all the people who got it a billion times worse than you got it, who would love to be where you at, and you crying, whining every day. Oh, well, why is life so hard? Why? Yeah, because you done accepted the fact that that's what your life gonna be, so that's what it's gonna be. Fix it. Fix it. Whining, man. Whining. I don't like that. I don't like that, man. I done been through too many situations. And I thank God that my mind is always wired up to go straight to solution. There's a part in every person that at some point you're going to have that little feel sorry for yourself or that little victim mode kick in, but that's only going to be temporary because you got to put things in perspective and go, you know what, let me shake it off. Let me get back and do what I need to do, man. Fix it. Go into solution mode. Spring into action. Hey, man, I'm trying to get on the other side of it. I don't want to deal with it. You ever got sick? Anybody ever had a cold? Anybody ever had the flu? When you get sick, I hope Michelle's still in here because she gonna bear witness with me. When you get sick, well, this is what you should do. Typically, when a person gets sick, you feel it coming on before it hits, right? When you about to get sick, you functioning, you out in the world, and all of a sudden you feel that little feeling like the bones start aching. You're like, oh man, I hope you say this first thing you say, man, I hope I ain't finna get sick, man. I feel like I'm about to get sick. You feel it coming on, right? So when it hits, your body is automatically designed to instantly go into defense mode to start fighting off whatever's going on in your body that's causing you to be sick. That's your immune system going to war, springing into action, right? These are things that are taking place inside your body that you are not even aware of because you don't know the full inner workings of how your body works. But your body is already creating freaking antibodies and fighting, right? Building up immunity. Meanwhile, on the outside, you're doing things that within your scope of knowledge that you feel will fight off the sickness, man. Let me go get me some soup. Let me give me some orange juice. Let me cut up some garlic. Let me put some cayenne pepper and lemon. Let me drink some hot tea. You start doing the things that you know to do, right? Now, while you doing all this, you still sick. And maybe by that second night, you feeling bad. It'll set all the way on you now. You messed up. You in bed. You messed up. You can't do nothing. You ain't going to work that day. You ain't going to school. You ain't hanging out. But what you still doing though, you still medicating, drinking, you're taking your herbs and your some people that take medicine, you still taking your pills and your NyQuil and all that because you fighting it off in the middle of the difficulty. And your body is doing the same thing. So a couple of days later, that third day, you start feeling, okay, it's going away. You're not 100%, but it's going away. That's how you should approach any kind of struggles you're going through in life. You approach it as you dealing with a sickness in that moment. So you start to medicate. You start to do all the work that you can to get on the other side of it. So now when your body is fully healed, now you on the other side tell us, man, I was sick as a dog last week, boy. I was throwing up. Boy, I was sick. But you're speaking of that sickness in a past tense. You don't just lay there and be sick because the sickness might last another 4 or 5 days. So when you whining and crying about what your how bad your life is, you just extending whatever it is you're going through instead of working to fix it. Come on, man. KO said, if any of y'all know what I've been through in the last few months, y'all would have y'all would have thought I've been folded. I'm still here laughing and thanking God for me being able to keep my mind. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't like when people who are in their right body, mind, and spirit complain like they got the worst life in the world. You standing on 2 feet. You could take off running right now if you wanted to, and you can get up and go eat. You can get up and go jogging. You can, but your life is so bad. My life is so bad. And you got blinders on because you're not observing the life of people around you who really got it bad. Let's go drive downtown in your city. Just ride through the city and see people laying on cardboard and sleeping outside, no matter how cold, hot, rainy it is, sleeping outside, sick, hungry, ain't ate, don't know how they gonna feed their family, want jobs, can't get them, but your life's so bad. Come on, man. Ridiculous, man. Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. DJ Jack Dawson. Some people can't get out of the bed. Yeah, I said, man, you know how many people checked out that wasn't ready to go? There's a man we just interviewed on my podcast. The last episode before the one we dropped last night, the last episode we did, Gary Monroe. We just interviewed him on my podcast about a month ago. He's no longer with us. He's gone. Loved life. Had a purpose. He was not trying to leave. Was glad to be here. Had a purpose to get up every day fighting for children and education. Did not plan on leaving. Now he's gone. So somebody who didn't want to leave, they wanted to be here, they wanted to stay in the fight, they gone. And you complaining. Man, y'all better learn, man. Y'all better take this wisdom, man. The interview is up. He's gone. Y'all better learn to appreciate what you have. I didn't ask to be here. Who did? Nobody can ask to be born. You can't ask if you ain't got no mouth. Your mouth didn't exist. Your mind didn't exist to think the thought. That's right, K, for real, man. Allah be pleased with our brother. Come on, man. Hey, y'all hit the like button, all of y'all who just came in. Y'all hit the like, click like as y'all come into the room, man. And be sure to subscribe to the channel. And before I burn out, y'all go check out the latest episode of my podcast. We're talking about artificial intelligence over there. Artificial intelligence over there. So y'all make sure y'all go check it out, man. I dropped 9 albums in 5 years. Man, I'm slowing down. I'm just playing. Do you believe America can survive its own unraveling? That's a good question, Reese. Yeah, the key word is can. Do you believe America can? That means conditional. Is it possible? Yeah, it can. But the prophecies in the scripture point so strongly to not. Because America's greed and stubbornness and rebellion and America's mistreatment of the original people of the planet, it's evil, it's disrespect of God, it's murder, lies, thievery of resources, all that, man. It's a lot to overcome. And this is a country ran by people. We just got through having a discussion about Biden and Trump and the rulers of this nation. Historically, is so much bad credit that has been built up for this nation that's going to be hard to overcome. And the arrogance, like I said, all the way back to just the what do you call that? Somebody help me with history. What they felt as though was the term that they used that felt that they were entitled to the land that they stole and all the people they slaughtered. They felt like it was just their entitlement. All these chickens are going to come home to roost. So you're seeing the unraveling, like Minister Farrakhan said. You're seeing the economy. You're seeing the weather, how God is destroying America on all its sides with the weather. Droughts, wildfires on one side, blizzards and snowstorms on the other side, hurricanes down in the south, tornadoes in the middle. Some kind of calamity going on, all because of how America has carried itself and how it's treated um, the indigenous people, right? So it can, but America ain't gonna change its ways. It's not gonna repent. It's not gonna make right the wrong that they did. You can bring up the conversation of reparations. They look at you like you slapped their mama. How dare you want compensation for us mistreating you and making you carry out free slave labor for centuries? How dare you want compensation for that? So all of those things go into account, and they add to the writing on the wall that seals America's fate, and it seals its own fate. And that's just scratching the surface of some of the stuff I brought up. So can it? Could it? Yeah, possibly. But it's like watching a game and it's 3 minutes and 15 seconds left and a team down by 20 points. Could they come back? They could, but it ain't likely. JD, what's going on, my brother? What up, Code? Glad you came through, man. Better late than never. Hit that like button, y'all. Click that like. Look at all the wars that America has carried out, man. Look at all the nations America's attacked and bombed and lied on, and all because they were trying to get to their resources, man. See? America got a list. America got a list, a long grocery list of evils that they're going to have to answer for. And they answering for them currently. And the worst is yet to come. Gotta say it. What are your thoughts on black folks moving to Africa from America, like myself? I'm 21, finally got a skill that's transferable, and I'm weighing my options. Well, I mean, it just depends on why you want to go. You know, some people say, man, I'm leaving America because I'm just dissatisfied with the injustice. I'm dissatisfied with how America's run and how they treat black. Okay, that's cool. You know, some people think that they're going to personally escape their own judgment, and that's just not the case. You can't run from yourself. So it just depends on why you're going. You know, if it's an opportunity, then, you know, you feel like that's an opportunity that you would rather utilize in a different space than being over here, then, hey, man, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Khan, Zodiac, a Kabaka pyramid. No, I never heard of that. Walaikum salam. Bosnia, what's up, Don Self? 79. JD, you ain't employed no more? Okay, you moved to Bosnia? Man. The Vatican is the most powerful organization on the planet, no question. What do they call that, man? They call that Manifest destiny. That's what they called it. Manifest destiny was when the white settlers came over here and felt that's just it's our right and entitlement to just take y'all land. Manifest destiny. It's meant for us. And they were right. It was meant for them. They was meant for them to have it, but the means they got it through was so evil. The means they got it by were just evil. So yeah, it was meant for them to get. It was ordained that they would get it. It was prophesied that they would get it. But it ain't what you get, it's how you get it. I don't know if you're coming to town. I thought you already had a comic book, JD. But we're gonna be at the Comic Palooza this weekend, Friday and Saturday, man. So I wouldn't tell you to drive all the way to Houston for that. But if you happen to be out there like that, then you already know you're more than welcome, my brother. Lester, I appreciate the love. Salute back to you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. David says, I ate enough red pills. I'm about building, working, learning, preparing, creating. Ain't nothing wrong with that, David. You ain't get no argument out of me on that. Go ahead and build, work, learn, prepare, and create. Nobody's stopping you. But the exposure of where we are in time and the truth of that got to be known regardless. You don't muzzle what's going on, and knowing what's going on and knowing where we are does not stop us from building, working, learning, preparing, and creating. Yeah, because quiet is kept. The land gonna still be here after God tear everything up, and there will be people here that will have that land, and you will have to rebuild, rework, relearn, re-prepare, and recreate. Oh, you got the coloring book. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Diego, what you looking for? Where can you get what? Let me do this before I go, man. This weekend, man, coming up, man. Comic Palooza. We will have our comic book, coloring book, T-shirts, all that, man. For the K-Rino comic book, we'll be at the George R. Brown Convention Center the 26th through the 28th. I'll get the times. I'll do a little commercial. But for those who didn't know, I had a comic book out. Martial arts. He was on here earlier, but he got to get up early, so he's burnt out. But this Friday, 26th through the 28th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be at the Comic Palooza. The big comic convention is coming to Houston, man. So everybody gonna be there. They're gonna walk around with costumes and all that on. I want y'all in the H to come out and support our booth, man. Come represent with your big brother. Make sure that when you're your big brother, I'm like I told y'all, I'm a rookie in the game. I'm a rookie in the game. So I want to represent hard because I'm gonna step in there like I run the place. Can you dig it? All right, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the love. Rebirth of the Matrix. I'm gonna ask this last question. I'm gonna go. Do you consider the Quran to be the word of God because you said in one of your songs, the Bible or the Quran? God's word is the truth. Yeah, well, the word of God is in both, but we have a translation of the Holy Quran that we feel like didn't get tampered with, that the devil didn't get a hold of, and so we will refer to the Quran as the Holy Quran because holy means pure and untampered with. And I know many people refer to the Bible as the Holy Bible, but the Bible was tampered with. The Bible was translated out of the original tongues and revised, and a lot of stuff was changed and switched. Books were taken out, falsehoods were added in, but that doesn't mean there's still not a lot of truth in it as well. So you have to know what is and what ain't. So that's why, you know, you may have heard me say certain things the way I said, and but there's truth in both books. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches out of the Bible and the Quran, and that's why you hear Mr. Farrakhan teach from the Bible and the Quran. And people who don't know no better, they say, "Well, they supposed to be Muslim. You supposed to be a Muslim. Why y'all always talking about the Bible? Because it's truth in the Bible, and our people, a lot of our people, they believe in the Bible. So if you don't know nothing about the Quran, I can't come trying to teach you out the Quran. So I will teach you out and communicate with you through your own book. So we have understanding. If I speak Russian, I can't teach you in Russian and all if all you know is English. So if I know English, I gotta speak to you in English. All right, man. Catch y'all a little bit later on, man. Peace and blessings.